Consumer inflation slowed down last month, but is still hotter than economists predicted. The January Consumer Price Index report shows prices rose 3.1%. That increase is down from the 3.4% increase seen in December, but it's still higher than the 2% number that the Federal Reserve is looking for. President Biden released a statement today touting the cooling inflation rate. However, he acknowledged, quote, there's still more work to do to lower the costs. I want to bring in Heather Boushey, who is at the White House. She's a member of President Biden's Council of Economic Advisors. Heather, tell us a little bit more about the White House's reaction and perhaps plan to this latest CPI report. I mean, what else is it that will be done?
Well, here's the thing. When the president came into office, he knew that he had to get the economy back on track. That meant getting people back to work, getting the unemployment rate down. And as we were recovering from the global pandemic, fixing up those supply chains, and then, of course, dealing with all of the issues that stemmed from the global energy crisis because of Putin's unprovoked war in the Ukraine. And now we're here, and inflation has come down 2/3 from its peak. That certainly is good news for American families. Year over year, inflation in January was lower than the year-over-year rate in December. And, but the president understands that, higher prices are hard on families and there remains still work to be done. I think one thing to really point out today, though, is that because of the gains in the economy, because of the gains in the labor market, real wages have now for 9 months been outpacing the rate of inflation. So that is also giving families that little bit of breathing room. But the president remains committed to doing all the things that he has been doing to continue to pull prices down.
As we follow these changes, it all seems incremental. When you look at the bigger picture, that line of inflation is significantly coming down. I mean, it is still in better shape now than it was last year and in 2022. But why is it that Americans are not feeling like the economy is better serving them? Why isn't that message getting through? What needs to be done?
Well, I mean, one of the things that we've seen over the past couple of months is that consumer confidence has surged, right? That people are saying that they actually are starting to feel the strength of the U.S. economy. I mean, we know that the recovery has been stronger than many of our economic competitors. This has been the most robust return of jobs of any recovery in recent memory. And we have these strong wage gains now. And we do have this, ongoing decline in the pace of annual inflation. So combined, it makes sense that you're starting to see consumers say, hey, my situation's a little bit better. I have more confidence in the economy. And as, things continue to improve, we expect to continue to see those trends ongoing.
I mean, the polling says 60%, almost 60% of Americans responding say the economy is bad. So, I mean, how can the administration improve that messaging and let people know what improvements are if they're still saying it's bad?
Well, the president remains focused on the core economic fundamentals, right? Making sure that we keep that unemployment rate low. Let's remember that we've now had the unemployment rate below 4% for a whopping 2 years. That's a record going back over half a century. That means that people can access those jobs, get to work. And then on prices, making sure that the president's doing everything he can to make sure that people aren't overpaying for the things that they need. So, he's been really focused, for example, on junk fees, making sure that all those little fees that add up, that people don't have to pay those. The president has been focused on, making sure that he can do that he does what he can do to keep prices in check, as we have seen this inflation come down, as I said, by 2/3 since its peak.
Heather Boushey, thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.